I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Like the interest levels in the stock market right now are dead. It's dead. Completely dead right now. Do I buy this? Do I not buy this? Do I buy this? I never get those questions in my private group. I don't freaking, like, no one's like, should I buy this stock today? Should I not buy this stock? Because at the end of the day, like, that's just a sign of unconfident. I don't ask anybody if I should buy a stock. Who do I ask? Nobody. I think Amazon can play catch up here over this next few years. It's just Amazon had all the hype and excitement of cloud back then, and Microsoft didn't have much. And I think the opposite situation now, where Microsoft's actually got a lot of that hype and excitement in regards to cloud, in regards to AI, right? Howdy, folks. Hello, chat. Hello, chat. Hello, chat. Hello. Hope everybody's doing tremendous out there as always. Happy Monday to everybody out there. We got a holiday week, but folks, we got a crazy week. And I mean an absolutely crazy week this week. Yeah, this is a no joke, it's Holy Smokers week, although it is Thanksgiving week, and so happy early Thanksgiving, everybody out there. Tomorrow's live stream is going to be wild, because tomorrow's NVIDIA earnings after the bell. That one's going to be a whole new level of crazy. But, alrighty, folks, so as far as indexes go, looking like Dow's up 252 points here today. S&P 500's up a little less than 1%. NASDAQ's up a little more than 1%. Russell Wilson's up only 0.5%, but based upon a lot of the pricing I'm seeing on a lot of small cap stocks, I would think the Russell Wilson would be up like 3% today, not 0.5%. How dare you try to undercut my sale, CNBC? Dirty. Okay, so Honest is up 8% here today. That one's started to really roll over this past few weeks. Foot Locker's up 5.5%. Revolve's up 5%. Palantir's up 4.5%. Another big move for Palantir here today, pushing 21 plus. I mean, the momentum in Palantir is strong right now. Very strong. This is basically the market saying, we believe you have some sort of fundamental change going on in your business model right now. And we are buying you all the way up 235% gain this year. What a comeback, right? But, it's important to remember, this is still a stock that, from the highs it used to be. I mean, Palantir used to be a $30, $40 stock, so if you look at it from the lows of last year, which it was around the lows right at the beginning of this year, right? Somewhere around there roughly, it looks like an insane move, and it looks like, oh my gosh, this has got to be crazy. But then you look at it from, where it was a few years ago, and it's down significantly from there, despite their business model being a much better place. So you can always play that game back and forth about, is it a steal deal? Is it crazy? Is it overvalued? Whatever. Gosh. Fubo making another nice upward move. That one's had a tremendous year this year. And there's another one of those that was a high flyer back in 2021, got absolutely wrecked last year, and then this year has been a huge move up. And I mean, if you look at the move since just back in the springtime, I mean, look at this. This is $1.04 stock back in April. The end of April too. And, now it's $3.31. That's a 200% plus gain in a matter of 6-7 months, something like that. 6 months, like that's incredible. Shopify's nice move here today, 2% plus. Meta's up again, another 1.5%. That one is not at an all-time high, but it should be at a 52-week high here today. Nordstrom 1.2%. Skyworks Solutions 1%. PayPal's up 0.8% here today. Cheesecake's up. Amazon up. Corsair up. Wynn up. JP Morgan up. Tesla up. Oh, Corsair. I don't know if I can have that one there anymore. I shouldn't. JP Morgan up, Tesla up, Qualcomm up, Pfizer up, Target up, Texas Roadhouse, Avant, Mattel down, Elf on a Shelf down, Planet down. But don't be surprised if that somehow comes back before the end of the trading day, because a lot of times I'll see Planet down big, and then right before the end of the trading day, it gets some sort of bid, and next thing you know, it's up. So, we'll see. Looking at safety stocks watch list here today. We have Clorox is the big L of the day, down about 1.5%. General Mills, Procter & Gamble, Campbell's Flippin' Flapjack and Soup, Monster, Pepsi all down. It looks like Microsoft's a big winner, Chicken Dinner 2.3%. A lot of people are not going to be happy about that. I think there's a lot of people that bought puts, like short-term puts that expire this week in regards to Microsoft, figuring like, oh, the whole Sam Altman thing is going to cause the stock to crash. And then you see the stock up 2.2% here today, and you're like, what? this isn't going to cause it to crash. Like, what the flip? There's going to be a lot. Guarantee there's going to be a lot of freaking people that lose a fortune on put options on Microsoft this week because they thought the stock would tank, 5, 10, 15, 20% this week after the whole Sam Altman situation. And then if that doesn't happen, all those freaking out of the money put options are going to expire completely worthless. Completely worthless. That's what you call trying to outsmart the stock market. If we look at my possible buys watch list here today, the worst stock of the possible buys watch list is SoFi. That one's down over 3 percentage points here today. Foot Locker's the best of the bunch here today, up about 5.4%. Other than that, it looks like we got quite a bit of Red Dead Redemption. United Rentals, Zillow, KB Home, Caterpillar, John Deere. It's John Deere reports on Wednesday before the bell. They're down. Whirlpool's down. Redfin, CCS. But the moves down aren't that substantial for those stocks overall. So we already looked at my stocks. Oil and gas, a little bit of a mixed bag out there for oil and gas stocks. Let's check out semiconductors watch list. Not too much happened on semiconductor watch list. Travel stocks. Hawaiian Airlines having a big day today, up over 6 percentage points. Airbnb's doing pretty good as well, 2% move. Oobity Booba stock, 1.6%. Carnival Cruise Line is down. That's only Red Dead Redemption of the travel watch list here today overall. What are your thoughts on VZ? No real thoughts. I mean, it's obviously solid company. A little bit of a sleepy one, a little bit of a sleepy div. One of the only bad things you can say about it is just the debt loads, obviously. So somebody says they got new all-time highs today in their portfolio. That's what I'm talking about. Congrats to the all-time high. That's awesome. So he says their main account was up almost 4% today. Very happy. Nice. Yeah, one of the beautiful things I love is, and I spoke about this a little bit in a video on the reaction channel here today is, it's just there's from the retail side, there's nobody like that interested in the market except for a few of us. Like, I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Like the interest levels in the stock market right now are dead. It's dead. Completely dead right now. You look at like Robinhood users, and I just try to like talk to friends and family members and just different people that, were so gung-ho about buying stocks in 2021. And I talk to those same people nowadays, and it's just they have no interest in the stock market whatsoever. They're not buying any individual stocks at all. And it's just like, it's crazy how much has changed over the past, I would say, 3 years or so, right? I think one, after everybody got wrecked kind of, in 2022, I think that got rid of a lot of people. Also, I think, there were, to take you guys back a little bit, 2009 through 2014 was dead. There was hardly anybody interested in the stock market on the retail side. Like, I try to speak to people, coworkers and stuff like that, and try to get them interested in the market. No one was freaking interested. No one was interested. And it was a tremendous time to make money. That's when I scaled to my first 200K in stocks back in those days, right? No one was interested. No one cared about the stock market. It was like, whatever. Who cares about the stock market? And then I noticed a change around, I would say it was around 2017. Obviously, Trump got in office, and a lot of people, and this isn't the right way to approach the game, by the way, it's a horrible decision, but a lot of people, if they think there's a president in office that they like, they believe in, then they think, okay, I'm going to buy stocks. Now, by the way, the stock market's done horrible under Republicans and under Democrats. It's done great under Republicans and Democrats. If you chose to not invest under the Obama administration because you thought Obama was a socialist and he was bad, you made a horrible financial decision. The stock market was freaking tremendous under Obama. The stock market was really good under Trump up until obviously Ronan, which, was pretty much out of his control, obviously, right? So the stock market can do bad or well under many different presidents. So to invest just during, this guy's in office or my guy's in office or not, it's dumb. It's stupid. You're making a horrible financial decision. You need to be investing under every president, regardless if you hate him, love him, who cares? Like, it's all irrelevant in the end. But a lot of people started getting interested because Trump was in office 2017, and I noticed that interest came through in 2018 as well. into 2019. There was a good amount of interest in the market. And then we had a crazy blow off top, obviously, in the back half of 2020 through the first half of 2021, right? It was a complete blow off top. We've never really seen that level of retail folks interested in the market. Certainly in modern times, you have to go all the way back to kind of the tech bubble to see that level of frenzy of just everybody seeming like they want to get into stocks and buy stocks and make money from stocks. And so right now we're just in a completely opposite situation of that. I haven't seen interest this low in regards to kind of investing in stocks in years. It's been a long time since interest has been this low. And for us that are in the market, I think it's actually a phenomenal thing. It's a phenomenal thing. Like usually that's when the market does really well. And when it seems like everybody and their grandma wants to buy stocks, and everybody's like, I can't wait to get in these stocks. And you see people that they don't belong anywhere near the stock market, and yet they're out there buying stocks. This should be a telltale sign that we should, if anything, leave the market or potentially hedge up a little bit, buy puts, right? And right now we're in the furthest thing from a market where people are running over themselves to buy stocks. It's just like, I can't freaking find people, in terms of like friends, family members, whatever, that are interested to buy stocks right now. And so, and I think it shows in user numbers or views of different videos and things like that, right? Social media interaction, all that stuff, it's just not there right now. Robinhood had roughly, I think it was 22 or 23 million users, monthly active users, back in 2021. And now they've been cut over in half. They've lost over 50% of their users. Over 50%, right? And I guarantee you of that, let's call it 40% that's left, I bet you the amount of interaction with those folks, the funneling of money is substantially lower than it was several years ago. Like substantially lower. So even if somebody's logging on their account, they're probably not doing a lot of deposits. It's very few of us, right? So I don't know. I just think that's something to keep in mind, and that's something that makes me feel pretty good about the market overall. That I think was worth mentioning there. Anybody pregnant? Oh man. So somebody says, "Man, I never trusted Microsoft. I wouldn't be surprised if they somehow planned all this just to get more power over AI plays. Now they are the main players of ChatGPT. I wouldn't be surprised. It's a high game. It's a high level of chess. I wouldn't be surprised either, to be honest. So look at Planet. I'm going to pay attention to Planet. Don't be surprised if it comes back by the end of the trading day. I noticed so many times it'll come back at the very end of the trading day. It'll be down some ridiculous percent, and then it'll finish down like 2% or something like, just like, what? Really? It's only down that much? So we'll keep an eye on that one. Honest, obviously, is the winner chicken dinner here today. That's a 7% upward move. When it comes to Honest, I think it's probably, as far as the stock price goes, I think it's probably benefiting from two things. The first thing is, obviously, that quarterly results, the fact that it looks like Carla's got the ship headed back in the right direction. And, that's a huge thing for that company, obviously. And I think the second thing that's probably benefiting the stock here over this past few weeks is, just the excitement in small caps and some people trying to early position to those ones, expecting them to have a big 2024 and things like that. So, and I think the same thing that's kind of benefiting even companies like a Fubo or Foot Locker here recently, or Revolve. I mean, Foot Locker's move here over the past few weeks has been pretty tremendous. Look at this stock just since, kind of where we were at. I mean, shoot, this is just a matter of days ago. This was Friday, November 10th. I mean, today's November 20th. I mean, that's 18% in just a few days. If we take it from last Monday, right? From basically last Monday, 17% mover. It's big. It's big. So, yeah. Holy smokers, it's no dang jokers, okay? But anywho, I'm going to keep an eye on that Planet. I got to remember to keep an eye on Planet. That should be really intriguing. So it says, Oatly got to get their numbers together. So it says, Jeremy, you still think the Russell's worth investing in? So, this is a problem. I notice with a lot of people is like, they have no confidence. And I don't want to I'm not trying to sell anybody on my private group or not sell anybody. I don't freaking care if you ever join my private group in your life, for that matter. But one of the things we're able to do in there is no one in there ever asked me like, oh, should I buy this stock? Should I buy this? Should I not buy this? And things like that. Because we build your confidence up so much that you don't even have to ask that question. I see a lot of people just so unconfident in not knowing what to do and just needing like, do I buy this? Do I not buy this? Do I buy this? I never get those questions in my private group. I don't freaking, like, no one's like, should I buy this stock today? Should I not buy this stock? Because at the end of the day, like, that's just a sign of unconfident. I don't ask anybody if I should buy a stock. Who do I ask? Nobody. I'll listen to other people's opinions on stocks and things like that. I don't never ask them, do you think I should buy the Russell? Do you think I should buy this stock? That's just a sign of you're not confident in your investing abilities, in your research process, in understanding financial statements, in projecting numbers, anything like that. And that's just a sign that you got to get your game up, right? Focus on the learning aspects. And the learning aspects is not like, you're not going to learn from somebody saying, do I buy the stock? And them saying, yeah, buy that stock. Or do I buy the stock? No, don't buy that stock. You're not going to learn that way. You got to learn from the ground up, right? So, just something that's food for thought there, man, because I see a lot of that and I'm just kind of like, I just almost like laugh at it. It's a sign of like new beginner. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I'm not confident in anything I'm up to here and things like that. So if you have to ask somebody if you should buy this stock or not buy that stock. Interesting. So it says, how would you value Berkshire? You'd have to value Berkshire like you'd value any other business and really thinking about it in terms of EPS. But the best way to kind of think about it is without the investment portion of these swings up and down, because Berkshire owns so many stocks that the way accounting standards are now as far as GAAP basis, and they've been like this for years, and it's a dumb change they made some years back. But now the investment change in price, if like Apple stock and a bunch of other stocks go up significantly in price, it makes Berkshire's net income look way bigger and their EPS look way bigger, even though it's not really a true reality just because the stock went up or down, because it's not like they sold most of the time, right? So you kind of got to back that out and then run it based upon what the companies inside Berkshire are actually earning for that bottom line, and then try to figure out, am I getting a steal deal, and then add back on to the investments that you're getting with the company, and then kind of take into account the long-term debt and then the cash position as well. Somebody asked, do I still believe in Avant Brands? Well, they've been putting up damn impressive numbers, and I still own the stock, and I've been buying it on and off here and there, so they've been pretty impressive. We'll see if they can continue to, make things better and better and better. Jeremy, you speak very highly of NVIDIA and Microsoft. Curious why you're not in those two stocks. NVIDIA really trying to figure out what their long-term growth rates are, and it's really hard to figure that out right now, to be honest, in regards to NVIDIA. Microsoft's a great company. It's just not the most attractive valuation. If you need to ask, if you should buy a stock, then you shouldn't buy a stock. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah. Oh, good way of putting it right there. You gotta figure out the fundamentals of this game. You gotta learn income statements, balance sheets, how to judge if you're buying a stock for undervalued or overvalued valuations. You have a lot to learn. If you have to ask, if you should buy a stock or not buy a stock. So this should be interesting. Zoom's coming out after the bell reporting these earnings. I'm going to root against the stock now that I didn't get my bet in, man. A freaking lottery ticket.
Microsoft,
damn it.
Did hit record levels today, and NVIDIA, which also hit a record ahead of tomorrow's earnings. Speaking of earnings, more big names are coming this week, including Best Buy, Lowe's, and Deere. And today...
Alrighty, folks, before Zoom earnings come out here, what was the public count up or down today? I'm going to guess as well. Alrighty, folks, getting your guesses. Let's see here. Oh, Planet never came back today. Okay, so one of those type of days. So public account. I don't think it was a great day. For the public account. I think it was an okay day. We do have some folks that are close now at this point in time. It was a better day than I thought it was. I guess, what was it, $9,750? It was better than I had thought it was. It was $14,573. Fidelity has us out for the public count here today. So, we'll take it. We'll take it. It was okay. It was okay day. How much were you guys up today, by the way? I'd love to hear from you guys. I hope you had a good day as well. I hope there was some 4-figure days in the house here today, or maybe some 5-figure days for some of you guys.
442 this afternoon. Can it go to 470, 480 before it comes back to 420? Yes.
1.39,
But if you're an
1.45.
investor
Yes.
who is trying to protect yourself from the equity market,
11K, there you go, baby.
With a 2-year or more time,
That's what I'm talking about. $11,000.
This is a great time for you to be in long-dated treasuries.
Okay. Jake, what if you're fine on protection and you're looking for some areas to take calculated risk? Where do you do it?
Well, I think, we still like U.S. equities. When we look globally, we look to Europe.
Nice.
We see weakness there coming, I think, sooner.
Nice. Somebody said they just hit 5 digits in total profits. Good for you. Good for you. That's what I'm freaking talking about. $800, $6K, $1,200. Somebody says since Halloween, they're up $98,000. Let's freaking go, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Big move. Big move. Somebody asked if I'm buying SQQQQ. I'm not. I might at some point in time and do that, in 2024, but not right now. $2,992. Somebody's up. Nice. Somebody says they started in 2021 November at an all-time high. Oh my gosh. Zoom better not be pumping. I'm gonna be freaking pissed. I didn't get in my bet. I was looking at 65 strikes and I was looking at 71s. I was probably gonna do 65. Oh, damn you, Zoom! Damn you! Don't you do this? Go down to Chinatown. Damn it.
If you do get into a recession next year, this is a sector
$300 could be worth so much now.
Sri, how should we think about the holiday season coming up? We got Black Friday just in a couple of days now. Is that going to drive any
It was I think I was gonna have to pay like $4 for ones that expire this coming Friday. So, and that was gonna be at a $65 strike. So my break even would have been like 69. So if this stock's, let's say, even $70 tomorrow, that would mean, the money probably would have doubled. So the $300 would have been worth or it would have been $300 something, or it probably would have been close to $400 actually. So I think it was $395 or something like that, and times that out by 100. So probably would have been close to $400. But that's probably why Fidelity let me put the move in, because I only transferred $300. I'm a Dumbo. But anyways, don't gamble. Don't gamble.
Still quite an amount of stimulus in the market in the form of fiscal spending that came forth, and the fact that the monetary policy was so easy for so long. So what that means to me is that you're still going to have a decent Black Friday this Thanksgiving season. And the question is, as you go into December, as you go into the first quarter, that's where the question mark comes in.
I want to mention Zoom earnings are out. We're going through those numbers. We're going to bring them to you as soon as we've got them. It's higher in the initial move by more than 5%. Jake, earnings. This is one of those names, not by any stretch Magnificent Seven. This was a pandemic darling. It's been hit pretty hard. How do you evaluate these kinds of names for when an entry makes sense?
Yeah. It's tough, and I already mentioned that the macro backdrop is still pretty challenging, right? So when you think about these names, especially names that are on the growth side of the universe, they're longer duration, right? Which means that we think they're going to be more sensitive to moves in interest rates. Now, when we look to 2024, the Fed mantra, higher for longer, we do expect that rates are going to be high into next year, but we also expect that the trend is going to be lower next year, right? So I think that at some point next year, maybe that's not the first half of the year, but maybe towards the end of the year, those names that are longer duration,
1.14 billion revenue,
if they come through with some strong earnings over the next few quarters, they can actually end up performing very, very well, even if they've been beat up really coming in the post-COVID world that we're entering into.
And finally, Sri, to go back to what you were saying about fixed income, what's your...
So somebody asked if I was able to get in that Zoom gamble before the market closed there. Based upon where it's trading at right now, I'd probably be up about 100%. So the three, because right now those option contracts at $70, they're expiring Friday. Those would probably be worth about it's because it's 65 strikes, so they would have doubled. They'd probably be worth about $8 right now, because I'd put it at 73, so it'd probably be up about 100%, so $300 profit probably right now. If it explodes obviously a lot higher, that's going to change dramatically as far as that goes. And by the way, I would have just got out tomorrow. Like if I had placed that gamble, I would have just, cashed out, took my profit and ran. I wouldn't want to hold it all the way to expiration.
In terms of interest rate increases.
Zoom earnings are out, as mentioned. Bertha Coombs has those numbers. Bertha?
Yeah, monster beat for Zoom, particularly on the bottom line, John, reporting $1.29 per share on revenues of $1.14 billion. Analysts had been looking for $1.09 on the bottom line and $1.12 billion in revenue. That's better than the company expected. The company also, as I put my cheaters on here, company also beat on non-GAAP operating margin, coming in at 39%. They also said that they retained customers who spent more than $100,000, that was up 13.5%. And as I read here from the release, Eric Yuan, the CEO, said their new capabilities like Zoom AI Companion and has continued to evolve our customer and employee engagement solutions. We're also pleased with our online business, he says, where we drove higher retention and saw usage of our new AI capabilities, enhancing the value of our platform. As far as fourth quarter guidance, they are guiding above the estimate to $1.13 to $1.15 per share. The street is looking for about $1.09 consensus, and they're also boosting a little bit. They're more or less in line when it comes to the revenue guidance. But once again, that AI is the thing that everybody keeps mentioning and certainly top of mind today. Back over to you.
In so many ways, Bertha, thank you. And if this move
great. Now Zoom's got AI too.
To the levels where it was in early October.
It's going to be $100 tomorrow.
Back Mike Santoli with a look at tech as Microsoft and NVIDIA, a couple more AI-driven names, hit record highs. Mike?
Yeah, John, kind of a good spot to take a look at where we've been. It feels as if we're on this sort of runaway upside move in the NASDAQ 100, which is mostly dominated by that Magnificent Seven. Well, here's a 3-year chart. You see, we're just kind of revisiting those highs back here 2 years ago. Sunday, as a matter of fact, still at about 3% or so before you get up there. It was above 16.5. So it shows you it's been this big round trip. We troughed just around the turn of the year. So all the year-to-date numbers seem incredibly eye-catching and almost kind of hard to believe and unrealistic. Well, it's really just catching back to where we were before on a higher earnings base in most cases for these companies, though not all. The Microsoft move, truly stunning in terms of sort of the upside breakaway in market value. Here we see it's basically $2.8 trillion in market cap. It's just on the heels of Apple. Actually has about the same weight in the S&P as Apple for various reasons.
Wow.
But you see that these, all three, Alphabet, Microsoft, and Amazon, were really in a similar spot less than 6 years ago, and Microsoft takes off to the upside. So clearly bestowing on Microsoft this reliability premium and obviously the leverage to the AI boom, the commercialization of it. And so all this talk today, John, it's fascinating. Is Microsoft going to be able to capture whatever IP it needs from OpenAI? Is it going to be able to rebuild it on its own? To me, you're paying implicitly $2.8 trillion to Microsoft in market cap because you hope they just have it figured out. Whatever turn is coming next in technology, that valuation implies they should be on top of it.
We're about to get a very different kind of test on NVIDIA, too, when they report their earnings. But what, if anything, do we learn in the charts from how Microsoft responded to this crazy news cycle since we got the first word on Friday afternoon that the relationship with OpenAI was at some kind of risk?
Yeah, it's fascinating because it's clear to me after a couple of days, after today in particular, that people weren't owning Microsoft because of this kind of sum of the parts potential value of its OpenAI stake. It was because they had this head start, this incumbency advantage that Microsoft's going to be able to deploy and just essentially get to where everyone.
Friday after. too when they report their earnings. But what, if anything, do we learn in the charts from how Microsoft responded to this crazy news cycle since we got the first word on Friday afternoon that the relationship with OpenAI was at some kind of risk?
Yeah, it's fascinating because it's clear to me after a couple of days, after today in particular, that people weren't owning Microsoft because of this kind of sum of the parts potential value of its OpenAI today.
Yeah, and in the meantime, we've very much seen that Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella is an active player in whatever is going on there. We still have to see it play out. Mike, thanks. Yep. And when we come back, a lot more on Microsoft as CEO Satya Nadella perhaps brings Sam Altman under his roof.
Yeah, that's really interesting in regards to what the gentleman was obviously showing there. In regards to, you know, these stocks were all about the same market cap roughly 6 years ago. Like you go back to around 2018, and they're all like literally right about the same market cap. And then obviously, since that time, Microsoft, Mr. Softy, has exploded to the upside in, you know, is roughly, you know, we can call it roughly double the market cap of Google, McDougal, and Amazon, or a little less than double, right? But it's interesting because Amazon, I think Amazon can play catch up here over this next few years. It's just Amazon had all the hype and excitement of cloud back then, and Microsoft didn't have much. And I think the opposite situation now, where Microsoft's actually got a lot of that hype and excitement in regards to cloud, in regards to AI, right? And then as far as Google McDougal getting beat significantly by Microsoft, right? I mean, we're talking about over $1 trillion in delta there. That's a situation where, you know, Google McDougal just has a lot of questions in regards to the government and kind of prying in there, and what if they make certain change in their business model and things like that. So just a little food for thought in regards to that. But I did think that one was really, really interesting. Now, in terms of earnings, so tomorrow's massive. Tomorrow's going to be a freaking great live stream. Banger of a live stream tomorrow. Because we have Kohl's reporting before the bell, Lowe's reporting before the bell, Best Buy reporting before the bell, Baidu, Abercrombie, Burlington, Dick's, American Eagle, all reporting before the bell. So we'll have to look at a bunch of those different earning reports on the live stream and see. And then after the bell, we got NVIDIA reporting, which is going to be absolutely massive. And Nordstrom as well, which Nordstrom is a stock I own. It's a relatively small position for me, but it is a stock I own nonetheless. And so obviously all eyes are going to be on NVIDIA, and we will listen to the full NVIDIA conference call as well. And what we're going to be listening to in the conference call is trying to hear anything about a potential demand slowdown in 2024. Anything about like, are growth rates going to slow, or are we talking about another legs of reacceleration of growth in 2024 as well? Because that's what the whole market's focused on now at this point in time. We're really trying to get clarity about, is AI at a moment where, you know, this is huge for NVIDIA this year, but, you know, the excitement, the talk, all that's going to start to fade in 2024, or are we talking about a new leg higher in 2024? And if we can get some good intel on that conference call and maybe read through the tea tree leaves a little bit, that could be really, really helpful in kind of understanding where big tech's headed. You know, if NVIDIA really falters in any major way, where, and when I say falters, it doesn't mean their revenues go down or anything like that. It's just a situation where it's not as exciting. That could bring big tech down in general in the month of December. And there's a very high probability that Santa won't come for us in December if NVIDIA was to kind of let everybody down. Now, if NVIDIA comes through, they knock it out of the ballpark in terms of this last quarter, and they have a guide that's, you know, let's call it significantly above where the street's at, don't be surprised if NVIDIA runs 600 plus into year end in that sort of situation, right? And obviously, I can't predict whether they're, because I don't know their numbers that's going on inside NVIDIA right now. But if that stock's going to run to 600 plus and we're going to have Santa Claus come, we really need to see NVIDIA be in a situation where they up their guidance as well, and do it in a pretty significant manner, because that would just make everybody lose their minds in regards to kind of what's going on there, right? So I think that's a factor that's, you know, pretty darn important as far as that goes. But yeah, tomorrow is going to be pretty insane. Pretty darn insane, man. I can't wait. I can't freaking wait. Like, you know, I'm looking so forward to it. Usually Black Friday is a really good day for the market overall, but we'll see. We'll see. The Steel Deal of the Century, make sure you get access to it, is the $62 special on Black Friday we're having for that Patreon tier. Usually $125 to get access to that, $62. And you get access to my #1 course ever, ability to see the stocks I'm buying and selling in the Patreon portfolio each week, and see exactly how I diversify. Plus, you get to be part of that Discord chat that's over there on the Patreon squad. So that's 3 days away. And so if you haven't got access to that, check out the videos on my main channel and the reaction channel. Both have links. They're usually a pinned comment. So if you want to sign up for that, if you're interested in that. And for a lot of you guys that are, especially in your first few years of investing, this course right here will help you out immensely. That's a really good value, and it's a really good, starter course. I would put it like that for you. So, alrighty, folks, that's going to wrap up the live stream for today. I'm going to save some of my energy for tomorrow. It's a beast. I hope Zoom goes down. That'll make me feel better about that whole situation. But tomorrow is going to be a beast of a live stream. Like I said, we're probably going to do a 3-hour special tomorrow. And then, yeah, I am going to produce a video on the main channel right now. That should be a very, very intriguing video on the main channel. So, yeah, that wraps up things, folks. I appreciate you joining me. Thanks for being here. Happy Monday. Hope you guys made some money today. You definitely should have. You should have made some money today. Much love, and have a great day. Peace.